There we go. Good evening. Dr.
Hello,
Tom
hello.
Larkin here with Jake Stereo of Surgically Clean Air. We are both burning the midnight oil. It's a busy time for both of us. So I met Jake in January at a conference that Chris Phelps was holding, and I thought what you had to offer was interesting because I've got a couple of clients that are very wellness oriented, and I had never seen an advanced air filter, right? And I took a couple of brochures and I took your card, and then all of this happened 3 or 4 weeks ago with this coronavirus, and I'm like scrambling for your card. Like, where's Jake, right? Because it was like a light bulb moment that your world was about to change, and you can kind of describe that because your world has changed dramatically, right? So basically what you found yourself, and you can talk a little bit about the company, but you found yourself in a position now where everybody instantly, because of this, the virus and the aerosols, everybody is immensely concerned about the health of the dental operatory. So talk a little bit about, how this has been a change for you.
Well, hey, thank you very much, Dr. Larkin. This has been the past month, a crazy, crazy month for us. Everything has shifted, but I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning and tell you a little bit about how we started.
Great.
Surgically Clean Air, our products were actually introduced a while back, the technology was, and it was introduced as a rapid response to the SARS outbreak in 2003. And why this is basically when the outbreak happened, these doctors that created this machine wanted to figure out a solution that you could put in office to help prevent the spread of illnesses, viruses, funguses, bacteria throughout the office. And then that's kind of how the technology stemmed. And now you fast forward, almost 20 years from that time, and we are here today, and we have a pandemic, the COVID-19. And now the COVID-19 has shed light on the importance of understanding air quality, aerosols and dental in particular, the importance of that. So basically that's where we're at now. We fast forwarded and we have a company built now. Back then they just had a product that they built. And we do have a very, very good solution that will help remove all the, I guess you could say toxins or impurities in your air in the dental office. I don't know if you want me to kind of get into how those are treated.
I kind of have the outline in front of me. So it's a 6-stage process, which includes UV light, because I'm studying all these different things like ozone and stuff, all the different ways to kill bacteria and viruses, and that's why. So yeah, kind of go through the different stages, because I think that's what really makes your product unique.
Yeah, for sure. So we do have, so starting at I guess I'll go through the stages one by one. Your first stage of filtration is going to be a pre-filter. This is just for large stuff. This is, if you hop on the couch, you see some dust pop up from through the sunlight. That's what that big pre-filter is going to capture. Then you kind of move into your secondary filtration, which is going to be your electronic cell or a HEPA filter. I'll get into that later, but I'll kind of get into HEPA filters. HEPA filters pick up particulates, and what gives a HEPA filter its designation is basically any particulate sizes that are 0.3 micron in size will get captured at a rate of 99.97% with the HEPA filter media. That's what gives its HEPA filter designation, and what makes our products and a lot of products medical grade. Then you're going to move into your third stage of filtration, which is activated carbon. This is a chemical and odors filter. It picks up things such as volatile organic compounds, any off-gassing from your surface cleaning done after every patient. That's that stage. Then we move into the fourth stage of filtration. The fourth stage of filtration is going to be your UV lights. So your UV lights then react with the fifth stage, which is your titanium dioxide plate. This is your reactivity kill chamber. So anything that does happen to get through your HEPA and your carbon, all the ultrafine, maybe gases and viruses and funguses, will now get destroyed or ruptured in that kill chamber. Then that's everything that happens inside the machine. The air comes out the top after passing through a negative ion generator. And this negative ion generator will introduce negative ions into the air. Negative ions are really good. Give you an analogy. Casinos use negative ions. And what they do is for all the cigarette smoke, negative ions are able to help capture onto the mass in the air, make it heavier, and it drops down. That's why you'll notice in a casino, a lot of people are smoking, but the cigarette smell is not always what you would think it would be.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. And all these stages of filtration are really important because every single one has an added benefit, whether it's working outside the machine or working inside the machine. It goes a long way to make sure, you know, even after your HEPA and your carbon, you are completely from A to Z filtering that air out.
So talk to me. So you basically have two models that would apply to the dental office. Talk to me about the two models, two different sizes.
So we have the two models. Our large commercial model is the Cascade White. And the Cascade White, generally speaking, is a open concept type of machine. So the Cascade White being open concept, when I say that, is if you had an open concept office, for example, your sterilization, maybe a dental lab, and your operatories are all in an open, somewhat concept type area, you would put a Cascade in that center of all of that, and it's going to pull air centrally.
Okay.
So this is a great central system, but we also have a Jade, which is a much smaller system, but it works hand in hand with the Cascade. And how the Jade works is it's meant to be an in-op unit. And the reason why it's so important to have something in-op is so you can achieve, you know, a certain amount of air turns per hour. Ideally, 6 or more air turns per hour. This way that you ensure that the air has been filtered in that operatory before a patient gets in, getting filtered while they're in there, and then, you know, filtered out before the next patient.
Okay. Now, would you turn at the end of the day? Would you turn the filter off? You don't run it overnight.
Well, it's both. It depends. If you want to extend your filter life, you can definitely turn them off at nighttime and maybe crank them on high in the morning, get some good airflow, and that'll blanket the office. But our units are able to be run 24/7.
Now, talk to me about the life of is there a replaceable filter or something that has to be maintained?
So there are replaceable filters. To keep it simple, on the Jade, you're going to have 3 replaceable filters. It's going to be your HEPA filter, your carbon filter, and your UV light. So 3 things that you got to deal with on an annual basis.
Okay.
Your HEPA is going to be roughly a year, your UV roughly a year, and your carbon is going to be every 6 months, your activated carbon.
Okay.
So that's going to be on the Jade. The Cascade works similar. You do have the option, instead of a HEPA, to go with an electronic cell. An electronic cell captures particulates down to 0.01 of a micron, so ultrafine stuff. And this electronic cell can actually be hosed off or washed off monthly, saving you from having to purchase a HEPA filter. That being said, the Cascade does come with HEPA because HEPA obviously is, you know, very efficient, but also with the HEPA filter, it's a lot easier to maintain if you don't want to do that monthly maintenance on the electronic cell.
So does the square footage of the office, do you sometimes do a combination of the Cascade and Jade? Or like, for instance, would it benefit you to see a floor plan of the office when someone contacts you, or is it that?
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, let's say an office is 4 operatories and 1,200 square feet. A gold standard for that would most likely be 1 Jade in every operatory and maybe a Jade in the waiting room up with the waiting staff or in the lobby. This is going to ensure that you're going to get multiple air turns per hour throughout the whole office, and definitely is sufficient enough to clean the entire office. But let's say you add 800 square feet of open space and open steri, maybe a lab, and all these operatories are in an open area. Then I'd recommend the combination of the Jades, maybe with a Cascade as well, to take care of all that extra ambient square footage.
Okay.
So that's when the Cascade would come in handy. But with Jades in each operatory, you are taking care of the source, all the aerosols in op, and you having a product in op is going to give you those air turns that you need to make sure it's purified.
Yeah, well, I just think this is a complete game changer going forward, because all the conversations at the time where these offices are shutting down or going to the emergency only model, everybody's talking about aerosols and air. So what I'm trying to do with the Phoenix Dental Project is solve the water and the air problem, because I think everybody before they go back is going to have this solution. So I'm very pleased to have you as kind of the exclusive air treatment guy for the Phoenix Dental Project, and all your information is going to be on this web page, how to contact you, reach out, and get a one-on-one consult with you to kind of get more of the details. So I really appreciate that we met in January and that we all have a new purpose and meaning. So thank you so much, Jake.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate everything, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Very good.